an old man, so old men like to take naps.
This is true. I can't take a nap or I won't sleep at night.
Anyways, welcome to another episode of Hoosier Nerds Podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's us. It's the Chris's and Mikey and
it's the low energy podcast.
yes, very low energy podcast.
Your boy Kris is sick. The old man Kris has like no energy because he's an old man.
Dude, I got home at 3:00 in the morning.
Well, whose fault is that?
Mine.
Did you see any ghosts?
Okay, so you want to hear the story?
Yes.
Here we go. So
We'll
I
start
went on
off-
a ghost hunt, the Bell Mansion in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Oh, with one of our shirts on.
Yeah, with one of our shirts on. So that's all over social media because they got retweeted by the people who hosted. So it was with Dustin Perry, who used to be on Ghost Hunters and Ghost Hunters International, and now he's back on Ghost Hunters every once in a while. And then you have Rochelle Stratton and Brian Murray, who did they were also on Ghost Hunters for a while, but they have a documentary on Discovery Plus now called Sleepless Unrest, where they spent 2 weeks in the Conjuring house.
2 freaking weeks.
2 weeks, and they didn't do it like they do Ghost Adventures, where they go and investigate and stuff.
Yeah.
They just set stuff up and just let the activity happen. But they never once got a good night's sleep because there was so much activity. That's how bad that house is. There's always something going off. So anyway, I went to the Bell Mansion. The Bell Mansion was built in the 1890s, and for 93 years, it was a funeral home.
Where's it at?
It's in Fort Wayne, downtown Fort Wayne.
Okay.
It's a beautiful building. It actually closed as a funeral home in 2018. So it's pretty recent. And they have an embalming room in there. And people used to live in the house, obviously. And so we investigated. There's 3 floors plus a basement that you can investigate. So we went downstairs to the basement first. I was with Rochelle Stratton and Brian Murray. We went downstairs into the basement, and there's supposed to be this ghost of a little girl down there. And he's early on, so you've got to think. So whenever they do one of these shows, they investigate for 2 nights straight and essentially get maybe 45 minutes worth of stuff, right?
Uh-huh.
So you figure you're spending, 16 hours maybe? 10 to 16 hours investigating to come up with 45 minutes worth of stuff. That's a long time for so little stuff. They set up a music box in this room where this little girl's supposed to be. The music box did go off while we were down there, but there was nobody else in the room. So that was kind of interesting. Then they're like, who wants to volunteer to be on their own? And I'm like, that's me. So they put me in this little room in the basement, completely dark, pitch dark, by myself. I didn't hear anything. I let my recorder go on my phone. I haven't checked it yet to see if there was any evidence there. But I had sort of like a cold feeling. Now, I don't know if that's the cold from the basement, but I couldn't feel a breeze anywhere, so I thought that was kind of odd. They set up REM pods in all over the place. We investigated with Dustin upstairs, and you could ask. We were like doing a Q&A session, and it was funny because I sat down in this really big bedroom, and I sat in this rocking chair, and we were doing a Q&A session with the spirits, and he's got this thing that answered they essentially answer through, and I said, what is your favorite? Because you don't want to say, don't ask the same stupid questions. Who are you? Do you know that you're dead? Blah, 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 blah. So you try to ask questions. Instead of yes, no questions, you try to ask like logical questions, right?
Yeah.
So my question was, what is your favorite, what's your favorite season? Winter, spring, summer, or fall? And I got an answer of spring.
Oh.
They said spring. But he said, he says, that's funny. He says, because the last group that was up here, the person that sat in this chair asked the very same question.
Huh.
So I thought that was kind of interesting. But
it's the chair. It's the chair. Every time you sit in that chair, you just want to ask what your favorite season is.
I guess. But we investigated a little bit more, and then we went out on our own. And there was you go up in this back bedroom where the service quarters are, and they had a REM pod back there. And REM pods are very sensitive to energy, right? It will only and you can set it how far out you want it to set it out to go. And it was set out to about 3 to 6 inches away from the REM pod. And in this bedroom, it was going off like crazy. I mean, blue light, red light, green light, yellow light. It was going off the whole time we were in there. So the REM pods, there was a REM pod set up in a poker room, and I was in a poker room. I was in the poker room by myself, and I was asking questions. It was going off. But here's the thing. See, I'm a skeptic. I don't believe that, I don't believe everything. I want to know the how and why of it. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And just because I'm asking questions, don't mean I'm getting an answer when it's going off. Do you know what I mean? It could be it could be just the spirit of somebody there that's just making it go off and not answering the question. Because some spirits they say some spirits are logical, and they don't want to do a dog and pony show. So that's why you don't. But and it got me thinking too that these guys go in a house, investigate for 2 nights, and come out with maybe 45 minutes worth of a show to get stuff. And we've got all these people in this house. Does that not interrupt that energy because there's so many people there? And was it just going off just to go off? Was there real energy there? I believe there was energy there. You can feel there's energy in the house. I wasn't scared in any way whatsoever. Was I ever scared in this house? Never. So, but like I was getting there early, and of course, you've got the people that spent thousands of dollars on ghost hunting and stuff, right? You've got those people. Just like the people at Comic-Con, they're the same in everything.
Yeah.
And this guy said, "Oh yeah, I captured voices already on my EVP. I got a couple names in the elevator." I was like, "Oh, you did, huh?" Yeah. And you have these.
Sorry,
people.
what's that beeping?
That's my oven.
Can you stop it?
I did. Is it that?
I
annoying?
still, yeah.
That's not me. It's done.
Okay.
You're crazy.
Thanks.
So, I was even talking to this guy about it when we were in the embalming room, and like we were in the embalming room, and this woman was like, "Did you just whisper in my ear?" Yeah, like no, bitch, nobody whispered in your ear. You're not. They think that they're sensitive, and I think they want to hear stuff so bad or see something so bad that they just conjure it up in their imagination, but they're not really ever seeing anything.
Well, that's how it. You go into something wanting to hear something. You're going to hear something, whether it's there or not.
That's exactly right. Now, the REM pods, that's another thing. I believe that. That's a legit situation. I think that's going to happen, especially in a place that's had how many thousands of dead bodies in it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For 93 years. And it was the only funeral home in town for years.
Fort Wayne's a big town.
Right. So.
Second biggest city in Indiana.
It's. I've always believed. I've always believed. And was there stuff in that house? Yeah, you could feel energy in that house. No doubt about it. You could feel the energy in that house. But did people get the stuff that they thought they got? I questioned that.
Yeah.
I don't believe that. I think they just want to hear stuff and they want to see stuff. And I didn't see anything. There were a couple cold spots, especially in the basement. It was weird in the basement because people were complaining how hot they were. and I kept getting cold chills. So, that's unusual.
But that you could just be getting cold, you know. Could be a breeze. Could just
But
be.
there was no breeze. That was the weird part. And I checked for breezes. Like I said, I'm
And then
skeptical
those
about
pods
everything.
might be going off because of faulty wiring.
Well, we talked about that too, especially in the embalming room, because Homer Van Meter was John Dillinger's right hand man.
Yeah.
He was wiped out in. He was murdered by the FBI up in St. Paul, right, Minnesota. He got captured and he got killed, but he was embalmed in that funeral home, and he's buried in Fort Wayne because that's where he's from. And there was a REM pod in the embalming room where we were, and I was like, "Are you Homer Van Meter?" And the thing goes off, right?
It could just be, a different one.
Exactly. We talked about that, and we also talked about, and I said, I brought this up. I'm like, I said, he was murdered violently by the government in St. Paul, Minnesota. Why would his spirit linger around to hang out at the Bell Mansion in Fort Wayne, Indiana?
Mm-hmm.
And the guy that was with me, standing there, and he's like, I agree. And, that's a very good question. He's like, we don't know. That thing could just be going on. So we changed REM pods. We switched it out from one to another, and the same REM pod kept on going off in a different location. And the new REM pod that we put where it used to go wasn't doing anything. So I'm a skeptic. I don't believe everything. I had fun. I would do it again. I wasn't disappointed. We had
How much did it cost you?
It was $125.
That ain't bad for how long were you there?
From 7 to 1.
That ain't bad.
And we investigated. I got to investigate with Brian and Rochelle, and I got to investigate with Dustin. And
you're paying
actually,
for the experience.
You're paying for the experience, right? I mean, you can do actually. It's kind of cool if you want to investigate that yourself. The Bell Mansion, it's open from 7 to 1 on Wednesday nights. You can pay $20. So, I mean, you can do that if you want.
There you go.
But I paid the experience, plus I had professionals, and at one point, me and Dustin were talking in that poker room by ourselves. I just had a one-on-one question and answer thing with the guy from Ghost Hunters, and I thought that was kind of cool. I mean, he's been on tons of investigations.
What else did you ask him?
We were just talking about things because he was trying to get spirits to come out. We were in this back bedroom.
Yeah.
And you go down the hallway a little room ways, and then that's where this is on the 3rd floor, and that's where the poker room is. And I was in the poker room, and the REM pod kept going off because I was asking questions. And I said, "What would keep us?" I was asking him, like, why would the spirit choose to stay in here? Why wouldn't it want to go out to the hallway to show itself? And he's like, maybe it didn't feel like it. It wasn't up there to do a circus act. He was just kind of hanging out where they hang out. So, we just talked about different things and personal feelings and stuff, or stuff that we had seen, and they're really nice people. Like the people that were the professionals, very, very nice. I didn't have to pay to get my picture taken with them. So,
well, that's nice.
If I wanted an autograph or a shirt, or they had T-shirts, sweatshirts, and hats, I could have paid for it, but it was nothing to get my picture taken with them.
Well, that's good right there.
But they are very down to earth people. They're really cool. It's a lot of fun. But
would you do it again?
Oh, absolutely. I would absolutely do it again. I want to go on another ghost hunt. I want to see something else.
There's my buddy in Florida that I game with. He did a haunted tour of what's that of what's the capital of South Carolina?
Columbia?
No, not Columbia. He did a haunted tour, and they got in segways and just went around town. It's a very haunted city. It was where slaves were brought in.
Charleston.
Yeah, Charleston. Yeah, I don't know why I couldn't think of Charleston. He did a haunted tour around Charleston. They were on segways going around town, different area hot spots and stuff. But it was like a tour guide and stuff. He said he didn't see anything or feel anything, but it was just a fun experience to do.
That's what I attributed it to. I didn't see anything. I mean, when I was in the basement for the second time, we were down there a while, and I think your eyes start to play tricks on you because
and you're getting tired.
Well, yeah, this was at 11:30 at night.
That's past Chris's bedtime.
Yeah, it is, and you think you see shadows, but I can't say that I saw anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I really think it was just my eyes playing tricks on me, and I mean there were other people down there, and I'm like, somebody could have moved, and you can't see anything because it's pitch dark except for lights for coming off of the equipment essentially. So, it was a lot of fun. I would definitely do it again. I would recommend anybody to do it. I that's how much fun I had. Don't go in there thinking that you're going to see an apparition or you're going to see shadow people or you're going to get touched or
Possessed.
you're going to hear anything. I mean, you got to think about it. If there's spirits, and this is the way I look at it. If there's spirits in that house, which I guarantee there are spirits in that house, and that's probably why it was so active with the REM pods and everything. Why wouldn't there be spirits everywhere else around us we don't even know about? I'm talking about Walmart and Meijer and the mall. I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's spirits all over this place. There's all kind of energy all over the world in every place. It's
so
not
what you're
just
saying is my apartment is haunted by a ghost?
I mean, it could be. I don't know. I can't say that. I can't say yes or no. I just think there's a lot of energy in that house because of the age, what's happened, but no, there was nothing malicious, and you just got to keep an open mind, and you got to go in there not expecting anything. That's what I recommend. If you're going on a ghost hunt, don't expect anything. And even the ghost hunters, he's like, don't think you're gonna see stuff. He says we're down here 45 minutes. Like, there's no guarantee you're going to see anything in 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's professional. So I'll believe him before I believe
There's people
Mr.
that do it for a living and probably have never seen anything because they're just not there on the right day or whatever.
Right. I mean, yeah, it depends. I mean, you could definitely feel energy in the house, and I think maybe the amount of people that were in the house, there was like 30 people, but I think that helps build that energy up as well, which spirits feed off of energy anyway, and they can manifest themselves with the energy from a living thing. So I've always been a skeptic. I love learning about it. I love reading about it. I love watching all the documentaries and TV shows about ghost hunting and all that. But I am a skeptic in that there's no guarantee you go on a ghost hunt that you're going to pick up anything. So, but I do recommend it if that's something you want to try. There's ghost hunts all over the state. I mean, there's all kinds of things you can go see.
There's like straight up tours you can go if you search the right way or thing.
Yeah. And like I said, if you want to go investigate the Bell Mansion on your own and take a FLIR, heat gun with you and take a digital recorder
I'm
and
just
try
gonna
to
take my phone and record.
You can take your phone too. I took my phone. I recorded a bunch of stuff. I don't know what I got yet.
Are you gonna listen back through, or are you just gonna?
I will. I plan on listening back through. But like the video with the REM pod, I've got video of the REM pod and then me and Dustin talking. You can't see anything because it's pitch black. You can see the light from the REM pod going off. That's about it. But I took video of that, and I took a bunch of digital recordings. But you can get a digital recorder yourself if you want to go and look and see if you can get some EVPs. And like I said, you can go on a Wednesday night. Call them up, say, hey, I want to investigate, or show up, pay your $20, investigate for 4 or 5 hours, have a good time.
How often do they do the with the ghost hunter people?
That I don't know. This is Dustin's first. This was Dustin's first outing with Brian and Rochelle.
Oh, okay.
They do stuff. I see stuff all the time where they do stuff like this. Mostly it's the people from Ghost Hunters, mostly. Than it is the Ghost Adventure people. Those guys are intense. They provoke, and these people, the Ghost Hunters or Ghost Adventures, are the only people that provoke.
Yeah,
Provoke
that's why
stories.
Zach gets freaking possessed every other
That's
episode.
right. He does it dangerously, but I mean he knows the dangers. So these people don't. They go in to investigate, and I told Dustin, I said, this is more of like a history lesson than anything, you know. So if you want to go check it out, Bell Mansion, downtown Fort Wayne, Wednesdays, 7 to 1, I think. $20. Investigate your little heart out.
Take a lunch.
Well, they had little snacks for us and bottles of water last night. They had like Scooby snacks, you know, like little cookies and chips, and so we could take a break and go in there. And they did. I had Scooby snacks. They were really good. You know, the little packets of cookies.
Oh, like legitimately, they're the Scooby snacks.
Yeah, the little Scooby snacks. Yeah, but they had a bunch of different kind. They had fudge rounds and chocolate chip cookies and oatmeal cookies, and then they had the Ouija board cookie. So, but that's Ghost Hunting 2022. I highly recommend it if you're into, you know, that. I mean, you don't have to be deep into it. I mean, like these people were spending thousands of dollars on their REM pods and their all this ghost hunting equipment. That shit's expensive.
Are these like actual like amateurs buying this crap?
Like it would be like us buying it.
That's dumb.
And you know, there's no way I would do it. Plus, you don't know what you're getting into. I mean, the more you delve into that, you know what I mean? You can come across the wrong stuff. Very easily come across the wrong stuff.
I feel like you could easily get, duped.
You very well could. And I even brought that up. I'm like, and because even me and Dustin were talking about possession, and we were talking about exorcisms and stuff. And I'm like, we don't know who we're talking to. I said, and I was even talking to this one guy. I said, demons are known to take on the voice of children and women, and they come across as friendly, and they do that on purpose. That's their way in, because you let your guard down for a child. You know, oh, it's a little kid. No, it's not. It's the spawn of Satan, and you're about ready to get possessed. So you got to be really careful with it. I think in this case they wouldn't allow you to investigate if it was dangerous. I just think it's just the same entities that just happen to stay at that house.
I bet if it got dangerous, they would shut it down.
Exactly. That's exactly right. So it's very interesting, very educational. I would do it. I'd do it again next week. That's how much fun I had. But yeah, I don't see the point of. I mean, I've got a digital recorder, but I used it at the racetrack not to go ghost hunting. So, but I could have taken it with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I mean, just because you hear, maybe I rubbed against the wall and it made that. You know what I mean?
Sorry, I farted.
Right. Exactly right. And one woman was like, "Did you just whisper in my ear?" And her friend was like, "No, that was me." So you just. You're not Zach Bagans, and you're not Grant and then Steve and those guys from Ghost Hunters. So just you're not a ghost hunter. They're wannabes, But just go and enjoy it. That's all I say. Just go and enjoy it. That's exactly what I did. So there you go. There's my story of ghost hunting. I didn't have no nightmares last night, and I don't hear anything. Or smoke. I'm attributing the smoke and smell in my kitchen and my bathroom to the neighbor downstairs that I've already sent off a complaint about. So I don't think that's ghost smoke. I think it's the guy downstairs smoke. So.
Anyways, Mikey, you went and saw what everyone's calling the worst Marvel movie ever. How bad was Morbius?
It wasn't. It was. I don't think it. I haven't read. All I've read was it's bad. I haven't really looked into like what details they were saying was bad about it, but I don't think it's as bad as people think it is. Coming after like the next I guess superhero like type movie after Batman. Yeah, that's as compared to Batman. Yeah, that's bad. But I mean, it's
Is it
really
like
not.
Venom?
I like Venom a little bit more. It's weird because it's definitely like an origin type movie, like a Iron Man, like how they kind of origin him up. Like they started him out, told his story, then he built his armor, and then continued from that. So yeah, you introduce kind of Michael Morbius, and you learn about his condition a little bit, and then like why he wants to find a cure, I guess. And, there's other people that are suffering from the same cure or the same illness almost. So or not disease. So it does a really good job like explaining it. Um, what I don't like about it is I guess the action. I mean, I guess it's not like I said. It's considered more of like it's storytelling and stuff, and it's a lot of dialogue. But so like the action sequences they weren't very good. There wasn't really much to them. It was quick. It didn't really make sense either. Some of these actions, like uh, Michael was running from the antagonist or something, or he wants to fight this antagonist that you find out. I mean, I'm not going to spoil it, but so and then he's like, I got to stop him, but he runs away from him. It's like, okay, like why not do it now? Like you're fighting him. I guess it's just like maybe it's to I don't know, just to delay the freaking movie. I mean, he ends up fighting him again later, but it's after so much stuff happens. And that part didn't make sense to me. Um, I did like Jared Leto in it though. I think he played a good one. Um, he made me believe it, all that junk. The FBI agents that were in it, I was looking at the cast and I'm like, the FBI didn't do shit in that movie. They were just kind of, I guess, just another part. They were trying to just pressure Michael. Like Michael's like, oh, I got to run from these guys, but they didn't do anything. They could probably just take those guys out of the movie. They didn't do shit. Honestly, it was. I don't know.
Any previews?
What?
Are there any cool previews of any movies?
Yeah, Top Gun was on there.
Oh, Top Gun.
Yeah.
I can't wait for Top Gun.
I guess like
Just look like Randy Marsh after he got internet back. Cream yourself.
Oh yeah. Anyway, I guess for like I know they did mention like you see in the trailers for Morbius, he kind of did mention Venom. They mentioned him a couple like it was a couple more times they mentioned Venom in the movie. Like the FBI agents mentioned something. It's like after Morbius attacks the people on the boat, like you see in the trailer. Um, the FBI agent's like, this is like something uh, like San Francisco, the what happened in San Francisco, which is where Venom took place. So I was like, oh, okay. Right. And then of course he goes, I am Venom when he like changes to that one guy, and, like you see in the trailer.
Just kidding.
And I guess there's after credit scene that kind of hints towards more. So I think we're gonna see Morbius more, but hopefully he's not like. I don't think he plays a good like just standalone movie guy. Like
So
it's good. It's good. It's like I said. It's good to set up his origin. But if you were gonna put him in another movie, I want to make like a Morbius 2.
You think he needs to be with somebody else?
Yeah, it needs to be like as a side character. I mean, as I think,
He's kind of like the Hulk. All the Hulk movies are kind of bad, but he's a great, number 2 in the movie.
right? Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, it's good to know his background, and like I guess what I liked about him was like even though people see him as a villain, I guess, but that's not him. I mean, he is a doctor at heart, and he doesn't want to he wants to save people. And I think they kind of mentioned that a little bit in the trailer. Like he doesn't want to kill people. Like his character, the doctor, Dr. Michael Morbius. I mean, the person, he creates a artificial blood that's blue in color, but does the same thing. But he tries to drink that rather than kill people. I mean, unlike you find out the antagonist in the movie. I mean, the antagonist is just like, yeah. So,
So
try not to spoil it.
it's entertaining, but it ain't nothing you would like run out to go see.
No, yeah. I mean,
is it one of those that's hey, this is on TV, I think I'll watch it? Is it one of those?
Sure. I mean, I'd watch it again if it came like maybe a streaming service. Yeah, I'd definitely.
Right.
Maybe I'd catch more stuff about it, but it was a pretty short movie. It was quick. I mean, the ending was like, I kind of wanted to see more like at the ending because it kind of just ended. It just wrapped everything up real quickly. Like,
All right,
oh,
we're gonna
what?
talk to you
Like,
later.
yeah, it was like towards the last 30 minutes, it had a couple storylines it kind of set up, and then it was like the last 5 minutes of the movie. I was like, oh, that storyline's ending. That storyline ending. That it's like it didn't kind of like it was just like bam, bam, bam. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. I get you. Well, so when does Top Gun come out? April, May?
When does what?
When does Top Gun come out? That's the big question.
May. At the movie theater, when you walk in, they have a big like cardboard stand and display for it. I was like, wow.
Does it come out Memorial
It
Day?
was like
weekend?
8 feet tall. I think it's after that. It's late May. There was a little teaser trailer for. I've never seen it before. Like I've never even heard of anything like it, but like I haven't seen anything on social media about it. It's Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse is the second one.
Yeah, that was announced a while ago.
Is it Across the Spider-Verse or something?
Yeah,
The cartoon?
yeah, they're making a sequel to Miles Morales.
And he's in
Spider-Man.
college. He's in college.
Yep. It's not getting as much fanfare as it should, I think, because the first Into the Spider-Verse was really good.
Yeah.
Top Gun comes out Memorial Day weekend.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I didn't even know they were making a sequel to that. I mean, I thought they would make a sequel to it. I just didn't know that it was ready to come out.
There was another kind of trailer I saw that I'd never seen before called Firestarter, I think. They had a
I seen the
poster.
previews to that.
That was, I don't know. It had, it has Zac Efron in it. I don't know when's the last time.
I will be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be all over.
I don't know like when's the last time he was in a movie. And I'm surprised I'll see him because like when you watch that Netflix show, he's like he didn't really care about. It seemed like he didn't care about acting anymore.
Well, he's got to act because, like like we've talked about before, you got to keep your SAG card and your health insurance. So you make movies.
Yeah.
No, he made that movie about he was Ted Bundy on the Netflix.
That was a pretty good movie.
That's a really good movie. He was a very good Ted Bundy.
What was that called?
Something about the horribly terrible something. I don't know. Let me look him up. My boo, Zac Efron.
Kris would give it up for Zac Efron.
Extremely wicked, shockingly evil, and vile.
That's it.
Yes. He's got a movie coming out called Gold. Or it did come out. All right. A drifter traveling through the desert discovers the largest gold nugget ever found. He must guard it from thieves amid harsh conditions and wild dogs while waiting for his partner to return. In the not too distant future. That's what it says. Did Ambulance come out or is that next week?
I think that's next week.
I want to see that.
It looks good, but it's got one of the dumbest names I've ever seen.
We might have to rope old Dave into that, see if we can get him to go.
Dave?
Dave Trine.
Why?
Because he wants to see it.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, he was familiar.
I just wish that movie had a different title, because it's just such a dumb name.
Yeah.
Ambulance.
Ambulance. It could be called Bambulance.
I need a Bambulance.
I need a... Are we skipping
one of the first viral videos?
Are we skipping all Oscar talk? Because we can, because I don't even care if we... Like,
I don't care about the Oscars.
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
We're a week late, so...
Although I do want to see the one who won Best Picture that nobody's talking about. That everybody probably should be talking about, but other stuff happened.
What won Best Picture?
Coda.
Oh, yeah.
Which I think it has to do with... deaf people? Yeah, Scott Marlowe. As a Coda, child of deaf adults, Ruby is the only hearing person in her deaf family. When the family's fishing business is threatened, Ruby finds herself torn between pursuing her passion at Berklee College of Music and her fear of abandoning her parents. So, yeah, I mean, it sounds like a good movie. And it won Best Picture, but nobody's knows that because, you know, other shit. And
the slap heard around the
show.
And now he's you know, even though he like stops being part of the Academy, it's really like a nothing. Like other people have been removed from the Academy. It doesn't really do anything. So
I was going to say, does it really mean anything to not be part of the Academy?
It doesn't. It means
other than you probably don't get invited to the Academy Awards.
You don't get the bonuses of the parties. And great, and probably the $1 million gift bags. You don't get shit like that, but you can still go to the Academy Awards.
Will Smith doesn't need it. Oh.
So, but I don't want to talk about that.
Huh.
That was too.
Let's talk about Star Trek. Everybody loves Star Trek. The new episode of Picard was fantastic.
God, when are you going to get off his dick? I mean, is
that happening anytime? He's not going to be around. He's not going to be around much longer, so I'm trying to ride him as long as I can, man. What do you want from me?
Are we talking about Picard now?
Yeah.
I can see that. I understand what you're saying. I got you.
I'm trying to get all I can of Patrick Stewart before there's no more Patrick Stewart. So, and I gotta say, if this is the last thing, like this is, I think, what is it, season 2? I think there's gonna be a season 3 that they've already pretty much done with.
They're almost done.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're
pretty
much done with it.
Are they rolling him out on the bridge of the Enterprise like Genesis does to Phil Collins, make him out there singing? Looks like
he's on. They're in the right now. They're in the past. They're
in like today's world.
Yeah, they're in 2024. I'm pretty sure. It's a different 2024 than our 2024, but who knows? Maybe
there
still a couple more years for all this to happen.
There's a lot of my dad's not a fan of it right now too much because they're a little too political with some of the issues in today's world. But
tell your dad he sucks.
I did.
You know what's going to happen in 2024 is going to be the same as it is now, because when I was a kid in 1977 and Luke Skywalker had land speeders, everybody said, "Man, when you get old enough to drive, you ain't even going to have cars. They'll have land speeders and stuff."
Oh no.
Here it is, 45 years later, and we ain't gotten land speeders. So.
When I say like slightly different, I just mean like 2024 in Picard is already starting to be like a oppressed facial recognition like everywhere, and like right at the end, they're trying to crash a party. Essentially,
With, like,
right at the end of the movie, it turns into like a heist movie. It's kind of it's kind of funny. Yeah, like the last 10 minutes or 15 minutes are like the setup to like Ocean's 11 or something like that, like them planning the heist. And there's like facial recognition. You have to like be scanned in by a chip before you go into the event, and it's like very, I don't want to say oppressive, but it's like the beginning of that kind of world, and you can already see it in like Picard. And I'm just saying like that it's not out of the realm of possibility. Nothing like futuristic technology and shit like that. When I say like not
Right.
far off,
It's like stuff we got now, except for like
Yeah.
some like
just like
some things.
used to like a more extent, because they already have facial recognition shits used in
Yeah.
places, I'm sure, around the world, but this is just like a more advanced. I mean, it is like a NASA ball gala or something like that, so it would make sense why they have like the epitome of technology.
Well, you got to know the military probably uses facial recognition to get into places. I'm
Exactly.
sure.
Exactly. Yeah. And this NASA is essentially part of a branch of the, not military, but
Government.
Right.
Just
Yeah,
think
it's,
if NASA had the budget of the military.
if Picard season 3 is anywhere as good as the first half of Picard season 2, I mean, Patrick Stewart will go out with a bang. I think it'll be
Yeah.
pretty good. And I love. Did you know, Kris, that Jonathan Frakes directed that last episode, episode
Yeah.
5?
Jonathan Frakes is like the savior of
The-
Star Trek.
I
Every
read
like good episode
an
is like directed
interview
by him.
with him saying like how great and fun it was to be the director with Patrick Stewart and John DeLance again, and Data and Brent Spiner.
I was
who
surprised to see Brent Spiner back. I
Brent
didn't know they were going to
Spiner
bring him back.
does. Oh yeah, nah, he's playing
So-
another Soon now. So he
Yeah.
does such a good. He's such a
Who's
good actor.
playing the Soon who
He's
starts
such
the whole
a good
genetic
actor. I don't even care.
stuff.
He did such a good job of Data with like playing like an emotionless, like you really believe that he didn't really have like the best handle on like emotions and stuff like that, and now he's swinging the, as Drake said, like Spiner's on the top of his career right now, which I mean it seems like he's been pretty great for quite a long time.
Who's playing slots over there?
That wasn't me.
It's an ad. Sorry.
Does she know she's an ad?
And then did we all watch Master Halo?
Yeah, I watched it. I thought it was really good.
I watched
it
the
was
first
good.
episode.
Second one was
I haven't
pretty
gotten
good.
around to the
I would say the first half of the first episode is pretty good, and the second half is more of just like setting up the lore of the rest of the, like setting up like stuff to happen.
Yeah.
And then like the second episode is I don't even think I think there's zero action in the whole.
There's a little
Episode.
bit. There's kind of
trying to-
action.
I'm trying to think of where, like right at the beginning.
Yeah, when they get to that space station, he kind
he
of
shows
you know
on
he
the at
throws
Citadel,
the
at what's essentially the Citadel.
yeah.
I mean, I guess like, but like a bullet is never fired, so there's really no
Yeah.
action.
It's just
It's
him,
just like
throwing
tense.
stuff.
It's like a tense situation.
Yeah,
But yeah, second one's a little bit more of like the setup.
but it kind
should-
of explains
should
the
be pretty
universe a bit more to people who don't really know Halo.
It kind of
Um,
explains how that girl is in the Covenant.
Yeah, and my dad, as someone who's played the games and read most of the books, I've read like the latest books. I'm liking it better now. Like I've kind of
It's not based like off of the game. It's based off one of like the out like a different, not a different universe, but you know how like they have how there's like the Star Wars universe where you
Yeah.
know Anakin doesn't turn evil or something like that. How they have it's kind of the same. It's just like a different take on. It's like one of the books or something, one of the literature.
Yeah, it's
If
just a
this
different take on
happens
it.
like this, because instead of blue team, it's silver team.
And it's not the same team members either.
No, yeah, it's a whole different squad. I was like, maybe silver team will die and then blue team shows up, but this is already after Reach. I'm pretty
No, it's
sure.
not. They're on Reach. That's where the Halsey is.
Oh, is that? I thought that was Earth.
No, that's Reach.
Oh, okay.
Reach in Halo lore is basically the new Earth.
So is the end of this season gonna end with shit hitting the fan?
Probably, Halo Reach starts.
Because correct me if I'm wrong. Reach was the one where we were Noble 6, right? When we
Yeah.
went through as Noble 6.
Yeah. Reach is where the Spartans were made and created and trained. Reach is basically, like I said, it's Earth 2. Think that's like Earth's like
Second Earth, just like
yeah.
farther out.
It's like double the size of Earth, but
Yeah.
they made it,
for Earth.
the new home world. And that's why it was so devastating when they lost it.
One difference I noticed between old game Halo and this show Halo is it seems like only certain people can activate Forerunner technology, whereas I'm pretty sure almost all humans can normally.
I don't exactly remember. Was it all humans or was it only certain humans that still
I-
have something like ancient?
I think it was still certain humans, but I still feel like it was like 90% of humanity can
Yeah.
activate Forerunner technology. And in this one, it seems like it's the opposite, and it's like
Yeah.
1% of humanity
Yeah, like
can
Master
activate.
Chief and nobody in that girl are the only ones that we know so far.
Mhm.
That's okay.
Should be good though. I like
yeah.
it. I think the Covenant. I mean, at first I was like, Elites kind of look shitty, but after watching it a little bit more, I mean, they look pretty good. I'm used to like the game look of
Yeah.
Elites. This is more of just like a more like what they would look in real life kind of thing. So
Yeah. I
they're
can't wait to
going
see
on
what the
a-
like
Master
jackals and
Chief's
the
armor
grunts.
looks dope. I love Master Chief's actor. I can't hate. He's a good.
Yeah.
He's a great actor. Even his younger self is a pretty good actor. So
I love how they made the kids look like, they're 14 but they're ripped.
I mean,
Because of
they're
all their
fucking.
augments. Yeah. Like I said, I can't wait to see what the grunts and the jackals and
I can't decide yet if I like Halsey because we all know what fucking Halsey's all about. We've all played Halo 5, so we should know that she's a bitch eventually. So
well, that's Halo for you. She's all about herself. She doesn't care about anything else but herself.
like she seems like she cares about Master Chief is like the only Spartan that she really cares about, but I still remember Halo 4 and Halo 5, fucking bitch. So
yeah. And I don't like Keys. Admiral Keys or Captain Keys is different from the.
and then Miranda's there.
Miranda Keys.
It wasn't Keys a male in the game?
Yeah, but he had a daughter too.
Yeah, he had a daughter.
He had a daughter, Alicia.
Because Keys is not the one. Is Keys the one that dies? I know it said.
Yeah, Keys gets turned into a flood
at the end of whatever
the
first game.
Yeah.
Right. So that's why Miranda is like the head for the rest of Halo. She's like the head of like the I don't want to say Spartan program, but like the UNSC.
Yeah. I gotcha.
But they Netflixed it up a little bit.
It can't be United States.
What?
UNSC.
United Nations Space Command.
United Nations Space Command. There you go.
Yeah. The Earth governments are still separated, but they, on Earth they're all separate, but in space everything's under the UNSC. And the UNSC is kind of, in the books at least, they're very, let's put it softly, fascist.
Do you guys remember the humans?
That's softly.
Do you guys remember what the humans were like during Forerunner time? Weren't they like fucking savage not barbarians, but they were essentially like space if I remember correctly.
They were basically Klingons.
Yeah, they were like on a ship and they were like looking like Klingons essentially.
Yeah, they were basically the Klingons, but yet the Forerunners, they became allies with the Forerunners to fight the Flood because they were running from the Flood.
Do you
and
think
that's how the Forerunners met the Flood?
so? I'm
Even though
thinking
the Forerunners created the Flood.
I'm thinking the Flood aren't going to be in the season except for the
I
last.
bet we get introduced to them in the last episode.
That's what I'm thinking because it's all going to be leading up to them getting to the Halo ring, and we all know what happens once
See,
you.
I don't think we'll get to the Halo ring yet. I think they might tease it, but I think the last thing we're going to see is the battle for Reach, and then the Pillar of Autumn running from Reach and getting to the Halo ring.
And then that's how they flood the Flood.
Yeah.
You think? In the
Yeah,
second,
I bet the Flood's
like,
either
maybe-
the very end of the first season.
maybe it'll show the bottom running, and then it'll be like a black screen, and then it'll slowly fade into the just a flood, any flood,
One of the little
then-
spores running
yeah.
across the screen.
and like popping.
Yeah.
Yo, fuck the Flood. Fuck the Flood. I have no interest in.
When I
One
first
thing I
played-
noticed is
I
on the
played the
Master
first.
Chief Collection, they added Reach to
Yeah.
it. You used to have to buy Reach separately, but now it's free on Halo Master Chief Collection. I might play Halo 1.
I remember when the first Halo first came out, I was playing it with my cousin because he bought it on Xbox, on the original Xbox when it came out, and I was legit scared because of the Flood.
They were fucking bitches.
They were scary.
Wait, I
Um,
can Halo 1 with my eyes closed.
let's finish this off by talking about Bruce Willis a little bit. You guys want to?
We're talking about Moonshot or Moon Void or Moon Man or what's that show?
What?
Moon
Moon
Knight.
Knight.
Oh, Moonknight.
That show's good.
Can I just
liked
bitch
it.
really quick about it? That chase scene in the
Yeah, let's
mountains
hear your bitching
looked-
because I saw nothing wrong with this show.
The animation was so bad in that chase scene. It felt like it was made by a high school student on their iPad with the VFX maker.
You sound like everybody.
Ah,
else
I
on the
didn't see
podcast.
it.
It
I
looked
like
so
the show.
bad visually.
Maybe I
The
don't have
show's
the
so
eye
good.
for
He's
it.
so
I mean,
funny.
you look so bad visually, and we still invite you everywhere.
Oh shit.
Wow, there you go.
But I'm not a multi-billion-dollar company that
Right.
can
True.
afford good graphics. There's no reason why there should be bad graphics in a Marvel
In a Marvel movie or a
Yes.
Marvel show.
Marvel
Yeah.
movie, show, whatever. There should not be bad graphics. That's what
I
bugs
don't
me
care
about
about
it.
the graphics. The story was great.
Oh,
I'm excited for the next episode. Actually,
I mean, DC's a multi-billion-dollar company, and they still keep coming out with shitty Batman. So I mean, there you go.
wow.
let's not get into this rabbit hole. It's,
I'm just kidding. Now the new one, I haven't watched it all, but it looks. I've been like seeing
What do
like
you-
some stuff of it, and it looks really good. I kind of want to watch it.
Yeah, I was like, what? You say you didn't watch it all? Like, how did you not watch it all? You said you just watched the
I got
trailers and
games
stuff.
to play.
God.
I'm a gamer first.
The only thing I didn't like about Moonknight was I don't like that accent. I don't like his fucking accent.
that's his
The way-
actual
the-
accent.
I don't like it. I just
I don't
I-
care wherever
yeah.
he's from. I don't like him.
I don't know. It just
Isn't that the
sounded
way he
weird.
really talks?
That's his actual.
it is, he
he's
sounds
actually
fucking-
British.
Yeah, I get he's British, but I don't like. I don't know. Just maybe the tone is like a little childish almost.
I did have to put closed captioning on so I could understand what they were saying.
He had a
I'm not
very
gonna
thick
lie.
accent.
What's open captioning? Can we just talk about that real quick? Why closed captioning? What's open caption?
That's a good question.
I just food for thought.
It's
Just
the
this
opposite of closed
this Tim's shower thought.
captioning.
It's like
the
you can
opposite.
be overwhelmed and underwhelmed, but can you just be whelmed?
Can you just be whelmed? Isn't that just normal? I guess. Like,
So I don't know. I thought the show was good. I enjoyed it.
Oh, I enjoyed it.
It took
too.
me
I
about
just-
20 minutes to figure out that was Poe Dameron. I'm like, I know I've seen that
Really?
guy before. He kind of looks like Dario Franchitti, But
Can we
I'm like, oh, that's this guy. That's the Star Wars guy.
talk about how good Ethan Hawke is as a bad guy?
He's very good as a bad guy.
I know. I stared at him forever because I thought he looked like someone else. He looked like I can't think of his name.
Family Guy. Oh my
No.
God, yeah, Ethan Hawke. Oh my God, yeah, Ethan Hawke. No, I'm not. Yes, you are.
He looks. I'll get back to you on that one.
He looks like who?
An older actor. I can't think of his name, but I can't think of the name.
Ethan Hawke is old. He's like my age.
No, but someone that's even older, like that.
Alec
I don't know.
Baldwin.
Anyway.
Oh, I was watching. Speaking totally off topic, but I was watching South Park, and it was one where Cartman wanted to be a pirate,
I like that episode.
and he tells Kyle says he can't be a pirate. He's like, "Why can't you be a pirate?" He's like, "Because I'm Jewish." He goes, "Oh, that's right, you're Jewish." He's like, "I'm so glad you. I'm so happy you've accepted your disability."
I think he actually
was
says
like-
it. He's like, Cartman, and I think they say it at the same time, like Jews can't be pirates. Yes,
Right.
of course. You're finally accepting your disability.
Disability. I couldn't believe he said that. I am laughing.
I love it. I'm trying to think of the song from that episode.
Craig's like, I don't want to be a pirate. I want to go home. Oh man, that's a great episode.
Do you guys want to play Airsoft?
I've been playing Dying Light lately, and these zombies called howlers. So every time I come across one, I'm like, these fucking howlies, like Butters when he finds out he's Hawaiian, and he like all the non-native Hawaiians, he's like hitting the golf balls at the battleship. He's like, these fucking howlies, and keep ruining our shit. What were you saying about Airsoft?
I just watched the Airsoft episode.
He's laying down. He has a sniper trained on Kyle, and he's like, "This is the best greatest day of my life."
Oh, with the teenagers?
Yeah.
Yes,
Bruh.
Just make me something.
God, just leave me alone.
Just go make
It's
me
funny
food.
Because that's actually teenagers.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I played. I was trying to help my buddy. A few of my buddies go through a raid last night, and it was a couple people I've never done it before in Destiny. And one of the kids must have been like 12 years old. I swear to God, I was losing my mind. I was keeping it all together because we're all friends and stuff.
Now.
But this kid was driving me. You could tell that he was a teenager because he was. I mean, we're all like 30, so it just gets crazy. I'm like, all right, relax.
Yeah. You can believe it? Some like a 12-year-old playing video games.
No. Well, I mean, normally I don't play with.
Well,
like,
I hope
my
not.
friends are my age.
Oh, okay.
So.
Made me nervous there.
Yeah, we're a bunch of.
Yeah, and in a raid, you need like you need like perfect communication in one of these. Like, I need to be able to hear somebody else call out like left or right or middle or front left or something like that, and he's talking about like fucking carrots or something. And I'm like, can you shut up while we do this, please? It took 4 hours to do a boss fight last night. 4 hours. Should have been like.
I don't even.
Should have been like. Should have been like an hour, maybe
that seems
maximum.
Like a waste of 4 hours.
It was a waste of 4 hours. I didn't even get anything for it because I've already done it a bunch of times. So there was no loot worth me doing it. I was just doing it to help out my buddies that have never done it before.
Aren't you just a nice guy?
Yeah.
I mean, I used to do that in the original.
Like pretty much max. I'm pretty much max level right now for the season. So
I'm pretty awesome.
Just me filling out everything else. I mean, it's just time to get to max level. And I've been off for most of this season, so. Oh, hello, kitty.
Let's talk about Bruce Willis really quick before we wrap up.
Hi, kid.
Bruce Willis.
Hold on a second, Chris. I just want to say this just got me wondering. So they delayed the Obi-Wan show, the series, by 2 days.
Okay.
They moved it from May 25th to May 27th, right?
Yeah.
So they moved it from Wednesday to Friday, but you get 2 episodes. What is coming out at the movies on Wednesday that they decided to move this episode? I'm
I don't
wondering.
know.
Make sure, so
Or maybe they wanted to push it back because there's some issue with something.
I think it's the Top Gun thing. I bet you Top Gun comes out Wednesday. It says the 27th, but I bet you wouldn't go see it on Wednesday.
I don't know.
But to Bruce Willis. Sorry, I just thought that was.
Anyways, Bruce Willis retired from movies the other day due to I don't know if it said what disease he has, but basically he can't.
Well,
He's
they said it's not a disease. It is a
cognitive.
no. It's part of a disease. I think you know what I mean. It's a
Symptom.
Yeah, it's a symptom.
But basically, he's not going to be able to read.
One of the first episodes in DS9, Chris, is all about the whole crew getting aphasia.
Yeah.
That's what it is, right? He's got aphasia.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
you just
basically,
mix
he's not
up.
going to be
You
able
just
to make
mix up words. I've seen people at work, patients at work with that, and it's just weird. You go to say like the word red, and you pull like dog out.
Well, they said
like
that they've been having to give his lately. They've had to give him feed him his lines, or not give him a monologue because he can't remember anything.
Well, I had been wondering because the last 3 or 4 years, he's just been making every movie that came across his desk. It looked like there were movies that like I watched them. I stopped watching his movies because they were so bad. Not that he was bad in them; he was always good. But these were movies that geez, what? That was a waste of hour.
Aphasia is usually brought on by a stroke, head injury, brain tumor, infection, or dementia.
I wonder if he's getting dementia or something.
Or 40% are stroke survivors. It affects up to 40% of stroke survivors. I mean, he could have had a stroke and not know it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, they took the Razzie away. They removed the Razzie for the Die Hard worst movie or something.
Why'd they take it away?
Because the Razzie said that we can't be making fun of people who have an illness.
Razzies are for the worst.
Yeah,
worst
but
movie. So they took it away from him because I think it was one of his most recent movies that they gave it to him. So they felt
was it
his
one of the recent ones?
acting was bad because of aphasia.
Yeah, so they don't want to give it, based off of that, which makes sense.
Yeah, which is fine.
If
it was like they gave him one for the original Die Hard or something like that, it would be crazy.
So yeah, that's sad.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite actors.
What's everyone's favorite Bruce Willis movie?
Die Hard.
The greatest Christmas movie of all time.
The original Die Hard.
Out of here! Get the fuck out of here!
Come on, let me look at the list. I really like. I'm gonna change mine. I'm not gonna say Die Hard anymore. I'm gonna say Fifth
Die
Element.
Hard 2. Fifth Element's pretty.
We don't talk about Die Hard 2.
Wasn't Bruce Willis in?
Oh wait,
12 Monkeys or whatever the name of that movie.
12 Monkeys. That's
I love 12 Monkeys. Is such a good movie.
Sixth Sense also.
Did you ever see the show? Did you ever watch the show, Chris?
It was all right.
Not you, Chris. The other Chris.
What? The TV show?
Yeah, 12 Monkeys. They made a TV show based off the movie. They spread it out over 4 or 5 seasons. Told the story from a few different angles. I watched the first couple seasons. I never ended up finishing it because it was, before streaming and stuff like that. So, or right at the beginning of it. So it was just on TV. You had to catch it at a specific time every day. So I kind of just fell off. But it was, from what I remember, it was pretty good. Obviously, it didn't have Bruce Willis in it, but yeah, I love that movie. That's such a good movie.
He was good in Death Wish. He was good at Cop Out. He was great in Cop Out. That movie's hilarious. Looper. I mean, how do you pick one? What was the one that was the?
I know how you
it got-
pick one.
Pulp
Die
Fiction.
Hard.
I know
Yeah.
how you pick one. Armageddon. Get the fuck out of
Ar-
here. Everyone else, just fuck.
Really?
How about this?
Planet Terror.
Armageddon
Armageddon.
out of here. I'm gonna get
No.
on out of here. Okay.
How about Get Out of Here? Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction's
Armageddon's so good.
overrated.
I wish. I
Whole
heard
Nine
Tears of the
Yards?
Sun is good, but I've never seen it. I need to
Bandits
watch
was
Tears of
good.
the Sun.
That's a great movie. Tears of the Sun is a great movie.
What about? Hold on, I'm looking for it.
Pulp Fiction's right up there with Godfather. Overrated.
But I don't
Um,
see him as
I
like
do
Really?
a
agree with you,
character
I'm
Joe.
gonna
in
punch
Pulp
you in the
Fiction.
face. What are you talking about?
It is a little overrated.
It is not overrated
It's a
whatsoever.
little overrated.
You guys just keep sucking
I
that
think-
CGI
I think once-
dick. And
I think
having
once
good
all the-
storyline.
Once all the older people that are too busy sucking Godfather's dick get out of there, it'll slowly move off the top of the list of best
No.
movies of all time.
Pulp Fiction will.
Both of them. I think both of them. Maybe not so much Pulp Fiction because
Dude,
it's
Last Boy
the-
Scout is good. It's got Damon Wayans in it. Hudson Hawk. That is a great movie. Plays like a cat burglar. It got horrible reviews. Horrible reviews. He's
So did
forced-
Wild Wild West, and it's a great
Well,
movie.
that's because a piece of shit. Really, it's not because yeah.
Tim has left the chat.
Worst movie. Top 10
No.
worst movies of all time.
It's rated so much better now. People love it now. It's like a cult classic.
Hudson Hawk. So he plays a cat burglar who's forced to steal the Da Vinci works of art for a world domination plot. It's kind of silly and far-fetched, but it is a fun movie to watch. Came out in 1991. I think it had a big budget, and it bombed.
You gonna be talking shit about Wild Wild West? Hudson Hawk has 33% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I know. It's a good movie, though. I'm telling you. It is a
so is
good
Wild
movie.
Wild West.
No, Wild Wild West is a piece of shit.
Wild Wild West. Wild Wild West.
That's Cool Mo D. That's not.
Not
It's
Will Smith.
It's not.
Loveless. Loveless is the
Fucking guy.
star of that film. Please, or South Park with Mom, I'm trying to save Selma Hayek. he's playing Wild Wild West.
I forgot.
Okay,
about
on
that.
IMDb, Wild Wild West has a 4.9.
I know,
Yeah.
and
I just saw
Frickin'
it.
Hudson Hawk has a 5.7.
It's
so-
not much better, okay? It's not much better.
It's anything's better. It probably shouldn't even get that well of a rating.
Wicka wow. Wicka wow.
and Wild West came out with one of the best songs.
Wild Wild West. Jim West.
Jim West,
Desperado.
Desperado, Rough Rider.
No, you
No,
don't,
you don't
want
want nada. Yeah, Mikey.
Nightmare on My Street is such a better song.
It's about to be a nightmare on your street.
Bring it on.
Yeah, I don't
What
want
you
any
gonna do?
trouble on
What
my
you gonna do?
street.
You come over here. You gonna come over here and slap me?
I'm gonna go over there. I'm gonna smoke in your whole neighborhood. Your whole neighborhood gonna smell like weed.
It already does sometimes.
He couldn't. He would. It would be like a slow motion slap. I could like move out the way.
Damn, how you moving so fast?
Like the anybody ever see Zootopia? The sloth
Yeah.
Yes.
in Zootopia. That's what my friend always says. Like, this is you after you smoke a bowl sometimes. like when he tells the joke and he slowly starts to smile.
All right, anybody got a shower thought?
Yeah, I guess. Let's take you back in time. Let's travel. Let's go back to history. Not too far ago. George Washington. Born
George Washington.
in 1732. Died
Okay.
in 1799.
Huh?
Dinosaurs were first discovered in 1819, 1824, either way. So we could say George Washington never knew dinosaurs existed.
Wow.
Say
You're
that
right.
about a lot of people.
That's a good. Yeah, but not everybody's George Washington.
I
Yeah.
thought of something the other day, like just a random. Here's a random shower thought from Tim when he's smoking all the time and he thinks random thoughts. When we go by like whatever calendar it's called, and it goes zero, started at 0 and it's up to 2000 whatever right now, and it went backwards going the other way. So if you were like already 21 years old when it's year 10 AD, you're like, how can you be 21 if it's 10?
So would you be 10 or would you be 11?
Would you be 10? Yeah. Like your net. I had 11 years of. Also, another random thing I saw the other day was, for in like the 1700s, they skipped like 3 months. They just were like, it was like November 4th or whatever. And they were like, you know what? Tomorrow's going to be February 2nd.
Did they really?
Yep. I don't know if it's that extreme of 3 months, but it was at least like 2 or 3 weeks
Did they
that
figure
they
out the vernal equinox was off or something and they adjusted for it?
It was something like they realized that their calendars would be off for some reason or something like that, and they just added 3 weeks. So like, what happened if your birthday fell in those 3
Right,
weeks or
yeah, and you're
whatever?
like turning like 40
They just
or 50.
Some
skipped.
big
It
thing.
went from like October something or November
Hold on,
something,
I
and
got
it
it,
just
I got it.
skipped.
I just Googled it. It says, why are calendars skipped 11 days in 1752?
11 days. Thank you.
That's still a lot.
That's still a lot of days that it just skipped.
Did they just forget to write them? What is the reason
I
why
think
they skipped
it
11
might have
days?
been something to do with the equinox. It was something to do make the calendar work, or like to get Easter or Christmas to fall on like a specific day, maybe.
I mean, that would
But I
be
was like,
less days in the year.
how
though.
are you
That'd be
just
kind
gonna
of.
skip 11 days?
But you thought
I'm trying to read
daylight
this
savings
article.
time was bad.
Time is just a construct.
It's all a human construct. Chris is correct.
If you don't believe in time, you're immortal.
It doesn't exist.
Thanks to denial, I'm immortal.
That's right.
Yeah, but you're sick all the time, so you ain't that immortal.
Hey, but I beat it every time. My body's just storing up the blood cells to fight every disease ever made. I beat COVID
Is
once.
that a drama joke, Chris?
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Did you see that video where Fauci
Trying
was
to think
talking
where it
about
was from.
The flu shot? This was like some old thing last week, and they're like, "Well, what if I've already got the flu? If you got the flu, don't even worry about getting a flu shot. Getting the sickness is the best. It's the best immunity." And I was like, "Oh crap!" So there you go.
It is.
Okay, I'm trying to read this article about that, and from what it just says, it's like they went from the Julian calendar to the Gregorian the calendar because some pope or something in 1582. I don't know.
But what if it's like some kid's turning 5 years old and they're like,
That's what I'm saying. They just skipped 11 days.
But it says Russia didn't change until 1918, and Greece didn't do it until 1913.
How is the whole world on different calendars?
They had to skip. They had to skip 13 days instead of 11. But like 11 days, that was British. That was Britain who did, or England who did.
It's bad enough that we were off like time wise with the countries and places that didn't do daylight saving time, and back then they were like, yeah, we're just all right. Let's go to Moscow. Yeah, it's 11 days earlier in Moscow. What? What do you mean 11 days earlier?
It probably in the long run, it doesn't really even matter that far back. Like, little old peasant us in our one bedroom with our 20 kids isn't going to care about what day it is.
I mean, your birthday got skipped.
They didn't celebrate their birthdays.
What do you mean they didn't
People have been
celebrate
celebrating their birthdays since the dawn of humanity.
Yeah, like, haven't you seen that? Happy birthday to me. I mean, there's a whole South Park episode where Jesus gives himself a birthday cake. What are you talking about? Nobody celebrate birthday. Are you telling me Jesus didn't get a birthday?
Yeah, he did. He got nailed to a cross.
So, okay, after trying to read it again and again, trying to understand it, it says the Julian calendar, which was what England was under, the measured year of time was 365 days and 6 hours long. But a lot of the parts of the other world were using the Gregorian calendar, which is 365 days and 5 hours and 49 minutes. So there's an 11-minute difference. And so over time, that 11 minutes just kind of
Oh, they're gonna have to add
added
it
up.
to the day
It's
eventually.
added up.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Added up over the course of the years, and then after, it's,
Wow.
yeah,
Well, okay.
Because it is
I don't know.
because it takes 365 point whatever days for the Earth to orbit. So eventually, our calendar will be off a full day. So that instead of changing it every other year or every 2 years or something like that, they just wait X amount of years and then change it. But
That's
so
why
that
we
means
have-
that we're like way off right now. Because if the last time they
Well,
changed
no,
it was
because we
in, like,
had
the
one every we added
1700s.
we add a day every
Uh-huh.
4 years. So
Yeah, that extra day every 4 years fixes it.
Oh yeah, that's the leap year must not have been around back then. But even with a leap year, it's not like it's 6 hours on the dot.
that's why we have daylight savings.
No, that's not why we have.
I'm just
daylight.
making shit up at this point.
Anyways,
Thank you for listening to another episode of Who's Your Nerd Podcast.
you
Oh,
can
you gotta
catch
put
us
it
at
on.
Pod Nerds on Twitter, Facebook at Who's Your Nerds Podcast. You can listen to us and watch us on YouTube. On Twitter, you can probably catch our pictures of our shirts. You can listen to us at Spotify, TuneIn Radio, iTunes, and Amazon.
Why do you sound like the sloth from Zootopia? Chris?
Because my
Because I'm
medicine's wearing
sick.
off. My medicine's wearing off. I feel like crap right now.
my medicine is where.
The slowest outro of the podcast.
I mean, you guys dragged it out for an extra 16 minutes anyway.
Yeah, shut up.